I'm going to grab my materials here real quick. So as I mentioned before, we've got Lori's class, and so how many years has it been that you've been using Decorah Eagle content as a teaching tool?
As a teaching tool, I started in 2011, so this will be my seventh year.
Wow, okay, so you've had a little while to perfect this,
I have.
right?
Every year it's different, and I change and hopefully get better.
Okay. And I'll just mention, who else we have here. My name is John Howe. I'm the director of the Raptor Resource Project. And we've got Lori here, obviously. We've got the classroom and
Mr. Morrison, instructional
Mr. Morrison, okay, going to take some photos. And then we've got Amy Ries behind. She's behind the camera.
I'm off camera.
Off camera. So anyway, welcome. So with this Giving Tuesday, we're kicking off I think we started calling this just Education in Action. Very neat thing that some classrooms across the country are doing. I'll tell a little bit more about some of the statistics of who is using this across the country. But so I remember back to my second grade class. Do you guys believe that? Can you believe that my memory's that good? I remember my second grade teacher, Mrs. Fitzgerald in La Crescent, Minnesota. But how many years ago do you think that was? Any guesses?
13.
Multiply that by about 3.
18?
40, it was about 45 plus years ago. And the reason I bring that up is I remember back to second grade, I remember some of the neat things that happened in school. And really, what you learn really depends on how interested you are in what you're seeing and learning, right? Let's just take, for example, so if you had a book and you're just looking at a book with pictures of eagles and learning about things, what do you think is going to get more of your attention, if you're looking at it in a book or if you're actually watching the eagles on the screen? What do you guys think? Go ahead, you can all answer.
Watching.
Yeah. So it really makes a difference how things are presented and the way that we do that, right? Just to get people's attention. And I think the neat thing about using this content is that it really engages you guys in the classroom and gets you participating and active. And you get to see something that's real, right? Not just something that's in a textbook that you're reading. So we know that this is something that's very effective. And I think with just the initial several years that teachers across the country have been using the Decorah Eagle content and other Raptor content to teach in their classrooms, that they believe and we believe also that it's been very helpful as a teaching tool and just helping getting kids engaged in the classroom. So let's start out with just something a little bit fun. I actually made up a joke last night, and I'm going to see if you guys can catch this one. We'll see. But so what is the eagle's, up in the nest, what's the eagle's favorite food? Or soup. I'll tell you a clue. Favorite soup. Why don't you go ahead, try. Fish soup? That's a good one. I'll let you guys try. That's not what I had in mind, though. What's that? Any other guesses? One more guess?
I forget.
Bird. Okay, I'll tell you the answer. Bird nest soup.
Because they have a nest bowl.
Right. And they're birds too. So it's a nest bowl, and you can actually get, if it got wet enough in there with all the animal remains and stuff, that would probably turn into bird nest soup, wouldn't it? Okay. So we talked a little bit about why we're here. We're kind of showcasing and just giving an idea to folks who watch the Decorah Eagles online. And that's the channel that we're broadcasting this on today. We have other Raptor channels too. We got the Decorah North Nest, we got the Marshy Point Ospreys, we got Eagle Valley, we've got the Great Spirit Bluff Falcons. So lots of different channels that people love to watch Raptors and figure out what's going on. So that's a big part of our mission, our educational outreach, is to to make these live cams available for people to watch. So we'll talk a little bit about the education program. So what are the teachers working on here to create? We're using the NGSS standards. You guys probably don't know what that acronym is, but the Next Generation Science Standards, there's components of that that you build into your curriculum, right? That you're meeting. We got the STEM standards, science, technology, engineering, and math, and then we also have the core standards, so K through 12 standards. So a lot of requirements that there's good parts of that, right? But we're trying to fill content and do the right thing and cover the right things to teach and for kids to learn in the classroom. So there's some really neat things. I was here yesterday just getting to know you guys and getting to meet you guys for the first time. But Lori, if you want to just kind of showcase and take us around the room and show us some of the things that you guys do on a daily basis.
Okay. One of the things that we have done is, since this is nest building time and preparation, what I have done is taken screenshots so that we started on October 16th, and about every week to 10 days, I'll take a screenshot to see how the nest has changed, and then we discuss that. We will start journaling about that and dating that. We have written, pre-wrote, because part of NGSS is the best practice, and so we pre-wrote what they know about a nest, and then we write what they've learned about a nest later on, so we can compare the two. We have a map here of Iowa, and we've got Decorah and Mediapolis pinpointed, and then we are tracking D24 to see where D24 is flying to. And we look at it online, but we look at this because then we can take away all the pinpoints and just get one where he's at. So last time he was close to Prairie du Chien was the last one. So this is kind of how I tie in the geography. We've looked at the world map and talked about how one of the previous transmitted eagles, juveniles, subadults went all the way up into Canada. And so we talked about migration and things. So we have just started in the last several weeks where one of the students chooses a word that we have talked about, and it becomes one of our spelling words, and then it ends up in our journals that we keep in the glossary part of our journal. And so the first one that was chosen by Chase was mantle, and so we discussed the meaning. And can everybody, should we mantle for the camera?
You guys want to show us what mantling looks like? And somebody can get out here too and do it right out here.
Or Zoe, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was going to read for us.
And what would an eagle mantle? There's something that they do that with, right? Food prey, right?
Squirrel or a fish, they would go like this.
Okay.
And they would hold their food so nobody would get it.
Yeah, they're covering up and they're saying, this is mine and I don't want anybody up there to see it, right? Very good.
Zoe. And then this week, beak was chosen by Zoe. And Zoe, you choose somebody to tell us about beak. Choose quick, sweet.
Tina. It's where they rub it against their nest or something that they're nearby, and there's either blood or something on the beak.
Very good.
Very good. All right. So those will be also not only tying into vocabulary, but it ties in learning to spell the words. So that's kind of how we include some of the language arts. We have, so the journaling, we have written a possessive noun book, which I think we're going to show you in a little bit. We have a Venn diagram up here. And one of the first things we need to do is learn how to identify mom and dad. And so we've watched the video that is provided. When we first started, I just gave them a few ideas of the gray feathers around mom's eye and then dad's guy liner. So, but we did a Venn diagram to compare and contrast mom and dad, and we have that they're both bald eagles in the middle, but then we have the identification things on both sides of the Venn diagram. So
Very good.
and then a little bit of math is that we have 2.5 feet for a male, which is right here, and 3 feet, which is right up under the the ledge of the wipe-off board, which shows a female or a male, guys? Female, right. And then I have created it's about a 6.5 foot wingspan live bald eagle here, and so the kids can go down and sit on it, and then they can see what their wingspan is compared to a bald eagle. Ashton, you want to go up there and sit on the floor right in front of where the body is? And then spread your wings out. So that shows you, and bald eagles, their wingspan is how many feet, guys? 6 to 7. So that shows us how we compare to a bald eagle. So that's how we do some of the math. We will get into weighing the eggs with a scale later on when those times. So we try to tie in all aspects of the curriculum, so it goes across the curriculum.
Very good. Thanks for that, just kind of showing. And the thing that we're not seeing right now, but on the white part of the board there, the Eagle live cam is going. You'd have to show actually a different screen today, so we'll pass on that. Okay. But so anyway, just a little bit about who's doing programs like this. It's really kind of neat. I think as the camera initially came out, it really was used quite widely, and obviously teachers found that, right?
Yes.
And they're very creative people. So we had teachers starting to use that content and put things together, and then through our website with the forum, Amy Ries helped collaborate and put that stuff together on the forum and put it in places where people could use it. And we kind of advertised that with our Facebook page and our website, and even just by word of mouth from teachers. So just a little bit about what we've done up to this point. We've got a couple different states here. I just want to give some statistics here. So we got about 1,147 classrooms total that have signed up on the site for the ad-free version of Ustream, so they can watch it in a classroom without any ads. So that's how we tell about how many classrooms are actually using the live feed. So out of those, we've got about 44 in California, about 67 here right in Iowa, 92 in Illinois, 36 in Minnesota, 107 in Texas, 68 in Wisconsin. We've got 1 in Moscow, Russia.
Hi, Moscow, Russia. Can you guys say hi to Russia,
Hi,
just in
Russia,
case?
And we've got 13 in Canada.
Hi, Canada.
Hi, Canada.
And many others out there. That's one of the neat things that we hear across the country and the world is folks that are watching the Eagles for just enjoyment of their programs. So let's go get and take a look into some of the content that the class creates. I've got a couple things here. I'd like to show some of the artwork that you guys have been working on here so far this year, right? And we haven't even gotten into the most busy time of the year, right? They're just doing their courtship stuff, right? They build their nest and they're building the nest up, and you guys have kind of your time progression of your photos there. And later on, we're going to have, in late February, we're going to have egg laying, and then we're going to have hatching after that, and all the different other stages, right? So I'm going to go ahead and show some of this work, and then we'll go take a look at some of the different examples that you guys have actually put together in prior class years. So we've got journals that the kids keep here. We've got multiple years of the Bald Eagle book, basically illustrated by the second grade classroom here. So each year you've done this and put that together. It's really neat to look at and watch. So here's the possessive noun Bald Eagle 2016 book that's been put together with use of possessive nouns, right? So I'm not sure which standard that we're working into that, but so I'm just going to show some examples here, and I'm going to make it convenient here. So we've got a bald eagle's wings are 6 to 7 feet. Okay, so classroom, so what's the possessive word there? A bald eagle's? Go ahead.
Bald eagles.
So eagles is the possessive word there, okay? Just some examples of the artwork here. A bald eagle's egg is about the size of a tennis ball. And we're using eagles there as a possessive again, right? Here's a very nice one. A bald eagle's nest is 2 to 4 feet deep.
That's very cute.
Okay. A bald eagle's talons are sharp and long. Very nice.
So what belongs to the bald eagles? Logan, go ahead.
Talons.
The talons, right.
Okay. Okay, one more here, and then we'll get to the end. The bald eagle's spicules have hooks in them. Okay. And there's a couple here that we wanted to talk about here at the end. The RRPs, that'd be what? Raptor Resource Project. RRPs, cameras are fun to watch. And we've got some cameras up in the nest there.
Thanks, you guys.
And here's one that I wasn't aware of, but I have. How much is John Howe's mobile phone, iPhone? How much is it worth? Anybody want to guess? Go ahead. $10,000, I heard. I think we might have a buyer there. No, here's one that really warmed me up yesterday. John Howe's phone is very special because it can control the cameras. Very good, thank you. It's worth more than that to me. Amy's webpage has a lot of information about bald eagles. Okay, and then the last one here. Bob Anderson's dream was to let children around the world watch bald eagles. And here's a beautiful picture of Bob saying hi with his hat on by the computer and the controls. Okay, so this is an example of the work of these guys here this year. So we just had a couple examples that we're going to show from last year, prior year.
You want to read the
Go ahead
paragraph?
and read that one.
Bald eagles go through 5 stages in their lifetime. They are in the egg for 35 to 39 days, and they are being incubated. They are an eaglet from hatch to about 5 weeks old and are growing fast. The eaglet stage can be called a hatchling, and a nestling. A hatchling is when they first hatch from the egg. 1 week. A nestling is 8 days old to when they fled. Bald eagles are called a juvenile from 5 weeks to 1 year, and have dark brown feathers all over. They are almost full size at about 6 weeks. They are also called a fledgling. When they leave the nest, a sub-adult is a 1 to 5 year old bald eagle. They turn into an adult at 5 years. They get their white head and tail, and their eyes turn yellow.
Nice job. Sue.
Very nice, thank you.
And this one, and after you show the picture, why don't you stand by John,
Yeah.
okay? It's perfect, bud.
Good. Okay, you can come back here. You want to read it? Go ahead, read it to the, look this way.
Bald eagles are large raptors. Females are bigger than males. They are about 3 feet tall, and males are about 2.5 feet tall. The wingspan is about 6 to 7 feet from tip to tip. That is longer than your bed. Females weigh around 12 to 14 pounds, and males weigh about 8 to 10 pounds. The skeleton weighs only about 1/2 pound. Bald eagles in the north are bigger than in the south.
Okay,
Okay.
very good, thank you.
One more. Is that-
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, bud.
Incubation is when bald eagles keep the eggs and eaglets born. There is an area in the nest for the eggs called the nest bowl. They sit on the eggs 98% of the time. Bald eagles have a broad patch on their neck, chest, and it keeps the eggs warm. The temperature of it is 105 degrees, and the eggs are incubated at about 100 degrees. Bald eagles turn the eggs every 1 to 2 hours. They turn them so the embryo doesn't stick to the eggshell and keeps every side of the egg warm.
Thank you. Okay. I think that's a good example. We're going to try to keep things on time here, and we have a couple more minutes left here. But a great example showing, you know, the different words that they're learning. They're learning to read. The artwork there is amazing. and they're right in development of that right now. And I think, as you mentioned before, they're pretty early on in the process, right?
Yeah, very early on. It's
With the eagle's nesting cycle, that's going to
Yes.
be coming up in February, March.
yes. So that's when we will do more and more that tie it in with the whole curriculum. So that we're hitting things that need to be hit.
Yeah, yeah. So I think Amy was going to come up here, and we were going to have one question and answer or two. Come on up here.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So before you teach me about bald eagles, I wanted to thank Mrs. Carnes for inviting us here today. It's really special to meet all of you guys. This is really just a lot of fun. So what I want to know is what you guys know about bald eagles. So you guys can be the teacher and I'll be the student. So why don't you raise your hands and you can tell me things about bald eagles. Okay, I saw your hand up, so let's go with you in the black.
That the hallux is the backbone of the bald eagle.
Okay, that's great. You know what? When I first started watching eagles, I didn't know that. So you already know more than I did when I first started watching them. In the blue.
Hallux is on the back. It's not with the other toes.
Okay, great. That's
and there's
great.
Only 4 toes.
And there's only 4 toes. You know, that's very funny because I saw a picture of an eagle last weekend that had 5 toes, and it was one of the first things I noticed. It was a 5-toed eagle. I thought it was very funny. you in the way back in the orange.
The Tarzan's is the part on the way back from others.
Very good. Okay, in the gray panda sweater.
Mantle needs protection.
That's wonderful. Number 72.
Dad has a lot of white and long guts laying around the house.
Yes, and that was actually one of the first things I had to learn in watching them, because the question we always got was who was mom and who was dad. So that's a great thing to know, because it sharpens your observation skills so much when you watch them to that level of detail. The girl in the plaid in the back.
Alaska has the most bald eagles.
Yes, it does. And do you know that Alaska used to have a bounty on bald eagles? The Bald Eagle Act, it's not the Bald and Golden Eagle Act, was passed in part to protect them, and there were an awful lot of eagles during that bounty time that were killed, so it's good that that's gone. Girl in the pink.
The inside of the bald eagle's egg is called a pip.
Very good. In the plaid.
A bald eagle's nictitating membrane goes sideways.
You guys know an awful lot about eagles. In the red and the black.
A bald eagle's spicules has hooks in them,
Very nice. And do you know why they have hooks in them?
so they can keep their fish on their feet without them falling off.
Yeah, they're pretty slippery. You in the orange.
They tell about mom's face. She has like that mean face,
Mm-hmm.
and she has like that eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of funny because in watching other bald eagle nests now, they don't all look like mom and dad, but you can kind of always look for that deep brow that mom has, if you can't look at them together and tell them by size. Now, who haven't I called? If I haven't
Dan,
called on you,
Why don't you stand up in the back so we can see you when you,
okay.
Tanner?
can you stand up, Tanner?
If the fish is too heavy, that the bald eagles swim.
Yes, I was absolutely shocked the first time I saw one kind of, they paddle along. That was very cool.
Chloe, stand up.
Can you stand up?
So that they have little bald eagles.
Smaller bald eagles than we have.
Oh, sure.
Good job, Chloe. Chloe?
That's the master nest.
Yes, Dad certainly is a master nest builder in Decorah. Now, in watching Decorah North, it seems like they maybe split up the tasks a little more, but I'm wondering if that's not because that nest is so big.
Yes.
Very good. One more.
One more.
Mama the eagle is taller than Dad.
Yep. Well, you guys, thanks a ton. You really know a lot about bald eagles. I am very impressed, and we're hardly even into the season. So thank you very much for teaching me about bald eagles.
And we say,
You're welcome.
Okay, well, let's wrap things up here. Thanks everyone for watching this morning, taking half an hour out to learn about education in action and classroom that's putting the eagles to good use here, right? And just with all this these years of investment and dedication, and just doing such a great job. Come this way so everyone could see. Just wanted the class to have a painting that was done by one of Bob's good falconer friends, Jonathan Wilde. It's a picture of the Decorah Eagles surveying their realm. This is for the Carnes classroom.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's a treasure. Isn't that awesome, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
So where are the eagles sitting?
All the library.
The Y branch,
There's
right?
the horses.
And there's the horses. Very good.
The